Ooh, 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 ooh. Good morning, everybody. I hope y'all slept well. I did. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Why do this feel too hot? Because it is. Because it is. Good morning, y'all. Good morning, everybody. How is y'all doing over there in the internet land? Hey, good morning. Good morning, y'all. Ooh, getting old is a trip. I just want you to know that. Hey, Kanisha, I already know I'm gonna have to close these blinds. I don't know why. That's crazy. It's just the contrast in light. It be killing my eyes. Hey, Brown Rose. Good morning. Yep, it's over. You gonna be able to do this one. Hold on, y'all. I don't know if my eyes are just adjusted to. Give me 1 second. Yep, that's it. Oh, this chair is so big, I be having to be careful before I being broke something. Me. Hey, y'all. Hey. Ooh. I took a break from dehydrating for 24 hours, and then I gotta get started on my potatoes today. But I was like, whatever. I'm gonna take a break and talk to y'all, then I'm gonna do it. Girl, yes, my joints and bones be popping. Look. My left leg is the one with the ACL problem, but y'all see which leg that this brace is on. It's on my right knee. Call myself stretching. Good morning, pumpkin. Good morning, grandbaby. Good morning. Good morning. Listen, get all of your armor on. My dehydrator will be here tomorrow. Come on now. Come on. That's what I'm talking about. Y'all make me happy. You know that? Y'all know that? Y'all make me real happy when y'all tell me stuff like that. Can I say this one thing too? Do y'all think that it's odd that one of the main things that I talked about when we first started this was processing your own food? Because you never know who touches it, you never know who's making it. You just can't trust the people. Remember, I was telling y'all about my uncle. He used to work for the meat processing plant, and they said that it would be like parts of people in the hamburger meat, which is why one of the main reasons I quit eating ground beef as a whole. Y'all remember me telling y'all that story? And then remember I was talking about how some of the stuff that they put into the food, we looked at the cochineal beetles and all of those different things, how they are helping with our babies having certain mental disorders and things like that, right? Y'all remember this? How many of you in 22 attempted to start making some of your own food from scratch if you didn't already? If you did already, I'm not talking to you. I'm only talking to the people that around 22 or in 23 you decided to, whether it be gardening or started just to try to make butter or bread, or is there anybody here that started to do those things? Just started to process your own food. Some of y'all went and got grinders. You started grinding up your own meat. Is there anybody that started to at least attempt to do some things differently in like how you process your food? You, Amber? Okay, you, Jen? Anybody else? You did, Sunshine? Okay. Hello. To those of you that did, look at what's happening in the processing plants. You can't even get a prepared salad prepared pasta. Who remembers me talking to y'all about making your own pasta and making those? Remember, I was like, it ain't nothing but a little bit of oil and this and that, an egg, and you're done, right? Or egg and some flour and a little salt or whatever, if you're gonna do vegetable pasta, whatever, whatever, right? Y'all remember us talking about this? We talked a lot in the last 2.5 years about processing your own food and learning how to, just make your own butter, make your own ice cream, if you can make your own bread, all of these different things we talked about in detail. And look at what's going on. People are putting their parts in food that people gonna eat. It got fecal matter on it. It's all sorts of things that are going on right now. And a few years ago, God said, start processing your own food, trying to get away from eating out as much. And if you do, make sure it's something they had to cook that day, right? A lot of this food is going to restaurants and stuff too, y'all. So there are a lot of things that God asks us to do, or kind of just nudged us to do in 2020, that are very valuable things right now. Something as simple as, if you can make it at home, make it at home. If you can do a healthier option by making it at home, do that. And look, think about the people that don't know how. They don't know the first thing. Good morning, Gwendolyn. Think about that. There are so many things that just come, and we think that they're random information. It's random, just, oh, that's something I learned today. No, everything that you learn is for somewhere else. In California, a woman had to have her limbs amputated because of bad fish. Wow, are you serious? I didn't do a class when I was doing the cheese. I just put that video up there on the thing. I didn't do it. Wow. Y'all hear that? That's crazy. Hey, Miss Duncan. No. Y'all thought I was crazy when I was like, I don't like other people touching my food, for real. She was in her early 30s. Oh my God. I was able to tell my aunt yesterday about the difference between real butter and margarine, and I learned that here. Come on. And Auntie, gonna get you some cream and make your own butter. Come on. Come on. That part. This is why you gotta not be scared to step out and do something. Just found a canning class and a wilderness class in my state for 2025. Come on, Zen. See, this is what I'm talking about. We can be doing a lot or nothing at all with our time. But now I feel like folks see how valuable time is, and y'all don't waste it. Good morning, Keish. Y'all don't waste y'all time no more. And that's amazing. Everyone stay safe and healthy. Thank you so much. You too. And thank you for that information, because sometimes people think we just be talking and don't even know God be giving us information for later. That's why I be like, I don't care if nobody believe or if they want to. It don't matter to me. He don't lie to me, and I'm grateful for it. Because he be putting us on early. Early. Good morning, Jamila. He been putting us on early. And I'm grateful for it, honestly. For my Ohio family here in Seven Hills, Ohio. Oh, okay. Okay. Well, I'm sure we got some people that's there. They gonna see that. So anyway, I hope you got all your armor on, because I got up to journal. I journaled once. I started cleaning up, and then I had to lay down and journal again because I had my headphones on, and he was hitting me with them songs, and then he told me, let's read this, and then I was like, well, maybe not, but I read it, and then Not ever in my entire life has this thing happened that happened today, as far as like me listening to a song and asking a question about if this is what you want me to read, and then it says it in the song like 4 songs later. I said, oh, okay, that's interesting. Well, then, yeah, that's what we're going to read then. So, I hope y'all ready. Good morning, Dave. Put all of your armor on. Get your shield and your sword and your breastplate. Get it all. Get it all. Get everything you need. Don't wait. Make sure you get your stuff. I'm telling you, you're going to need it. You're going to need it. Because I sure did. Oh! Not I got the brace on this one and this. You know what? This body. I stretch. So I have a praise report. I'm listening. I'm listening. They say she got a praise report. I'm listening. Good morning, Isabel. Go ahead, Punky. You know we like them around here. I see TikTok playing too. It's all right. It's okay. We see you though, TikTok. And we know the peoples is over here. We know. Howdy, Mr. Avery. I need to hear something good. That part. Come on in. I'm waiting. What you got, baby girl? We got a praise report, y'all. I know they moving slow. I know some of they've been over here for a minute. Hey. I know, girl. You got us waiting with suspense. Come on, Jake. Ooh. Hey. Ooh, that. Listen. Now I'm about to have these braces on both. I've been trying to get more of my prep and stuff, and I just don't have the extra cash, so I owe $8,000 on my card. They just emailed me. Oh, hold on. They just emailed me and said pay $1,500 in 2 weeks, and my debt will be settled. Girl, y'all hear that miracle? That baby said she owed $8,000 on her car. She wanted to get her stuff. She wanted to do what God told her to do. And the car people just called her and told her that she paid $1,500 in the next, did you say 2 weeks? In the next 2 weeks, and her debt will be settled. Come on. You said won't he do it? You said won't he write off $6,500? Won't he write off $6,500? Will do. Now that's a baby. If that ain't a praise report, I don't know what it is. And y'all want to play with the devil. Well, go on over there then. He too good to me over here. I'm trying to tell you, Jamila. I literally was writing. Listen, you right on time, Pumpkin. Because in my journal, I told him, I said, God, thank you. You have been good to me. I'm trying to tell you. Listen, y'all hear that? So it's some other folks. Let that be a witness to you. God can do whatever he want to do. You know what's crazy, Pumpkin? I kept listening to God Blow My Mind today. That's one of the songs, you know how you'll play your list and then you'll go back to one song maybe 3 times. God Blow My Mind, baby. That's exactly, and he did it in this moment right here today. Congratulations, Pumpkin. Listen, and this is why I can't go back to just living a regular fake Christian life, because it's too good over here. The blessings that he does, the way that he moves, the things that he do that... Yeah, you want to go back to the other way? How about you? You want to go back to always guessing and stressing instead of being able to say, Dad, I don't know what you're going to do. I'm just putting it in your hands because it's above me now. It ain't nothing I can do to change this. I need you to help me do what you asking me to do. You hear me? Will, listen, happy birthday. Happy birthday. Listen, I'm trying to tell you that now that need to be journal big. Who who remembers me saying he paid it all? That ain't just for your salvation. Huh? You hear me? You hear me? That ain't just for your salvation. You hear me? That's for everything else that you need, and people be mad. I'm trying to tell you. They be upset because they don't feel like you are deserving of whatever else it is, but they don't see the work you put in behind the closed doors. They don't see how much you've been working on yourself. They don't see how much you have put in to trying to walk the way that God wants you to walk and moving when he say move. Because God can give you a direction. But if some things are time sensitive, you hear me? I made it. It's been 2 years now. Oh, yep. And I didn't think I could go on. Come on now. Come on. Come on. The loss of a family member is so many different things, but when you try to line up with what God wants you to do, all you see is miracles. You hear me? Do you understand? Do you hear me? You hear me? I see y'all over there too. Come on now. That's what it is. You hear me? How many things have you prayed for that were out of your scope to take care of, or out of your ability to do it, and you ask and he did it? You didn't have to go do nothing for it. You didn't have to try to haggle. You didn't have to try to lie. You didn't have to do nothing. He just blessed you. Facts. Walking in God's purpose opens his hands in your life. Listen, you said my apartment. Listen. Okay, let me tell y'all this. I got a chance to have a conversation with somebody last night, and they went down in Jesus' name, which I'm very excited about on Sunday. Very, very, somebody very close to me. But you know what they said too? Guess what they said? Guess. I was going to church just to hear, hey brother, hey sister, going to work, and I wasn't necessarily drinking or smoking. Hold on though. But I didn't have a real relationship with God either. And then they said that they heard a pastor saying, you don't give to the poor, it don't benefit you nothing. And he said, I thought about what you said. He said, what? They up in a pulpit just saying anything. I said, and this is why I started reading for myself. But I said to him, I said, hey, you know heaven is not attendance based. Exactly what we had just talked about the other day. There are so many people that think that heaven is attendance based. They think because their pastor or their minister or whoever it is not calling them out in the pulpit and doing none of this, that God is pleased with their life. And to hear this person who has known the truth their entire life, set under real doctrine, and for the scales to be pulled off their eyes in this time, Hey, do you know that we could be in like the 4th or 5th year of the tribulation? And you know what they said? I see it. What about the people that aren't going to wake up for another year and a half? There are so many people that feel like just because they are in a church service that they are going to heaven. And that's terrifying. So many of them now are just now seeing the information that we were talking about. Well, I've been talking about it for a long time, but for sure, like the hand scan and just all of the things that God told us to be paying attention to however long ago. And it's like, it's literally because they've been told they're not going to be here for it, they won't even see what's right in front of their face. And this is a person that is in church often, probably 2-3 times a week. It's a real thing that people have been deceived into thinking that, I go to church a couple of times a month. I ain't out here doing this or that, so I know I'm going to heaven. And that's why when I first met y'all, I told y'all, I don't know if he gonna let me in or not. I pray he does. Because from what I read, it ain't as easy as they telling you it is to get in. Not saying that it ain't no chance for you to make it, but it's definitely not just saying I'm a Christian and trying to be nice to people and that's just it. That's not all it is. It's not. It's about learning and understanding what it is that God wants you to do. I listened to my mom manipulate the word yesterday. Wow. Anyway, y'all ready for this? Let's do it. This person said to me, there was a person that came to one of the churches that I used to go to, and there was a person that stood up in the not the pulpit but in the congregation and was saying something out loud, and they felt like this person had mental illness, and so they rushed this person, kind of tackled them out of the church. And they said, yeah, now I realize that that person probably saw what was going on in the pulpit, and that's why they wanted him rushed out. I said, you know how many prophets and people have come to churches, people thought they was crazy and didn't take their words and didn't realize it, and they put them out because they was doing this and that, and then it was the truth. It was the truth. Because most people don't want to hear what they don't want to think about. And so then they think if they don't think about it, then it won't happen. But that's not the truth. That's not the truth at all. And that's a scary way to live, if you ask me. Y'all got y'all shields and stuff on? Facts, that's my granny. If I don't think about it, it ain't gonna happen. Interesting. It's a lot of people like that. More than you know. And it's scary. Hey, Pumpkin. Ooh-wee, and that's why I just be in my hole in here. Like, well, that I believe it. I believe. I don't care who do. Y'all want to see how much 6 pounds? It end up being 6 pounds of onions. Y'all want to see how much It might. Yeah, it's only got 2 bags. It's either 6 pounds. I believe it's 6 pounds. Y'all want to see how much? Well, some of y'all already know, but if you don't know, I want to show y'all real quick how much onion powder. Them 2 bags. I think it was 2 bags. I can't remember if it was 2 or 3. I want to say it was 2. It might have been 3, but I don't think so. And yes, it's in bags because I'm just gonna fill this bag up. Y'all, look at this. Do you see how much garlic powder 2 bags of onions made? It's so strong. And this is the peels. You see that? I told y'all, get the onions while they cheap. Even if you got to cut them up and throw them in the freezer, you can dehydrate them. This is and 3-pound bags too, not 5 pound. 3-pound bags. And y'all know this a gallon. I mean, it ain't easy. It's some work, but it's definitely worth it. So just think, if you got 20 pounds of onions, you could probably fill this bag up, and then you'll have your granulated garlic over here because that's all the peels and that outside hard part. So don't forget the onions. And I used it in my chili last night. The truth. They've been playing this the whole time. We could have been doing this. And I dehydrated a ton of onions during what's the name, but I didn't make them into no garlic powder. I mean, no onion powder. Yes, in thin hamburger slices, like the ones from Burger King they used to put on their sandwiches, like that. Yep, dehydrated them and then crumbled them up. And I put mine through the blender and then through the thing. I went ahead and got one for $12 because I didn't, and it did make it smoother and it made more, like it whatever. But yeah, the thinner the better with them, with the onions. I just do full circles and then break them up, you know. Yeah, but think about it. How many onions you let go to waste? I ain't gonna lie. Sometimes it be 4, 5 onions I let go. Like back in the day, I might let a whole bag of onions go bad. Just think about how much, you know. And then I took the bottoms and put them outside in some water so they can get ready to be growing. I think it was like, it might have been 12 onions total or something like that, right? That's probably why God making food scarce, because we've been wasting for a long time. Think about how many tomato seeds we done thrown away. Could have planted whole fields of tomatoes with all the tomato seeds we thrown away, or pumpkin seeds, and now we can't even find nothing with seeds in it. The fruit is sterile, and so are people. Crazy, right? No? I'm about to start my round of indoor planting for next year so my garden can get a head start. Come on, pumpkin, because I don't even... Can I be honest with you? I saw the vertical grow bags. Y'all seen them? And they grow big old fruits. Y'all seen the vertical grow bags? They got them like on TikTok, Temu, everywhere. Y'all seen them? I think that's going to be a good... Because what if we can't go outside? You have a few of them. You ordered some this morning. I think the vertical grow, because think about it. If you have to, yep, I got a little tomato vine growing it on it right now. Okay. Because what if we can't go outside, Day? But they was growing big old squash and everything on them things. I said, oh, okay. Okay. I mean, as long as you got water, you'll be able to grow something, right? They had big old heads of everything. It was crazy. Because what if we can't go outside? What if we're not even able to do one outside? Do y'all see how many people are nervous? Do y'all feel it on the internet? What you talking about? I don't know, Mr. Do y'all see it? That people are getting nervous? I want to practice growing microgreens in a glass jar, right? And bean sprouts, you can dehydrate bean sprouts too. The port strike will be back in January. Yeah, really just need lights and water. And I know how to make my own compost. Well, come on and teach us. Are you saying like because you know I saw a girl growing garlic, onion, and celery in totes on her balcony. Come on, pumpkin. This, all of this, while we got access to it. Are you telling us like you know, or are you just saying? Because I know we got a couple people that. Yeah. Are you? This man said he gives us 3 months. January will be 3 months. I'm an empath. When I went to the supermarket, I was rushing to get out of there. It was very uneasy for me. I bet. Interesting. Well, what month will we be at 3 years? Yeah. Just ask God to show you what to do. February. And what month is our government changing? Different laws are going to be put in and different things are going to be changed. What month is that? January. Interesting. Do you find it crazy that 35 months before the changes started, God prepared you for all the changes? 35 months come January, Every single thing that is going to change or could happen after January, God prepared you for it starting whenever you got here, if you've been here in the beginning. Interesting. I keep seeing 6 months everywhere. Interesting. Interesting. I got a sweet potato in a planter on my front porch right now, and my daughter is laughing at me, and it slips in my kitchen window waiting for me to for that part. Hey, Rika. You remember how long I told you that vanilla take once I found out? What I say about the vanilla? You remember what I said? It was a key number that I said. I said in 6 months. It might not be none in the store or hard to get a lot of stuff, so yeah. Y'all ain't seen me dehydrate nothing the whole time y'all been on here. I ain't did it. You see what I've been doing? That's why I ain't been on here. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's why I'm about to get 2 potatoes going today. And why y'all think I've been saying why? Hey, while the vegetables are cheap, root vegetables, onions, and potatoes and sweet potatoes and carrots. Not carrots. Be careful with the carrots. I need y'all to buy as much of that as you can. Garlic, things that could be dried, corn, peas. All of that stuff is cheap right now because it's all, they trying to get people to eat. So whatever ain't on recall that can be dried or canned or freeze dried, you need to be grabbing it while it's cheap, right? Because you can make a lot out of potatoes. You can make potato pancakes. You can make potato bread. You can make onion soup. You can use it to the base things. I grabbed the seeds out of my bell pepper and chopped it. Come on. Looking into how to store veggies, all the veggies long term. Yeah, yeah. God is still giving us time, y'all. And when I talked to the person I talked to last night, I said, man, listen. And when I say this person has known holiness their whole life, they didn't heard about the mark of the beast, the rapture, their whole life. Because they musician. So you behind the pastor. Pretty much since your 20s. Walmart has collard greens shredded, $1.78 a bag. I was like, wow, oh yeah. Mm-hmm. You can dehydrate cabbage and stuff too. All of these things can be dehydrated. That's why I told y'all, people thought I was crazy in 2026. I had 4 dehydrators running them for like 24 hours a day for like 3 months. Electric bill was so high, it didn't make no sense. I didn't care. We was going to pay it. There is no Christmas this year as far as I'm concerned. I have to get too much done. Girl, I'm learning to make ketchup and maple syrup. Come on, I got 2 jars of soup now, adding sausage and potatoes to it. Come on. You could get cocoa butter and mix it with your vanilla. Cocoa butter? Why would you put cocoa butter with your vanilla? Keish, I told my kids the same thing. You can dehydrate. What you think is in your noodles? In that noodle pack with the carrots and that's cabbage in there. When you open that noodle pack and pour it in there, cabbage. That's what cabbage and carrots and probably a little bit of onion. Got it. Cabbage. I showed y'all some of the soups I did. I made some cabbage and carrots. Put some onions in there for some soup. Yeah. You can dehydrate soup. If you make you some soup, you can dehydrate that. You buy powdered dehydrate. You buy powdered soups from the store in a bag, potatoes and everything else. Well, you can make that and pour it into a tray and dehydrate that too. So it's already seasoned just in case it ain't no seasonings. Put your seasonings in there. Stay away from a lot of oil. Yeah. I done told you that already. Put them eyes down. I done told you that. I told you I'm about to do this chili. Well, only reason I'm not going to do this chili that I made because I put meat in it. I forgot to not put the meat in it. So I just got to make all my chili up again. I'm going to eat this one though, so it's okay. But, yeah, you can dehydrate chili too. I just wouldn't put the meat in it because the meat can go rancid. That's why they always had the meat separate in certain things. Because meat can go bad if it has oils and fats in it, but it's the way to rinse that out. You're just going to rinse all the seasonings off of it. Because I did it. I said, well, this is going to be some bland soup. But, yeah. Yeah, you sure can. Yeah. You can tuna casserole, all of it. Mm-hmm. Everything. That's why I keep saying, y'all. Mm-hmm. Oh, I don't know nothing about no dumplings, babe. You might just have to make them fresh. But just keep your flour and stuff so you can make some. I don't eat not them kind. You talking about the bread dumplings that you put in your soup? I really want to make me some soap because my soap done went up to $7 for 3 bars. Oh. 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 Eh, get online, girl. Get online. It's and it's a lot of different soaps you can make. You can put baking soda in them with olive oil. It's all kind of stuff. I'll tell you this. But that's crazy. Is it just a little bit spooky to see this happening? The person I talked to last night, I asked them, they was like, yep. I said, because I ain't going to lie. And they said, same, it's crazy to hear about it and then to be living it. I said, right. Is it? We talked about famine not just being that there's nothing. We talked about famine just being that you don't have enough to get what you would normally get. We talked about that and we talked about it and we talked about it. And every time we come on here, or even when I talk to other people, they're like, you will never believe I went in the store and this was such and such. And so sometimes I don't say nothing to them, but sometimes in my mind I be thinking, Dad, thank you for telling us. Yes, it is. In Circle last night on the phone with cousin and her mom, they still waiting on a rapture. I said, we in a tribulation. Leave that alone, girl, and left it alone. You hear when I said I ain't got time to be arguing with nobody. But when a person that sat behind a pastor say, man, what is they up in the pulpit saying? I said a whole bunch of nothing. I said, how many of them people you think have any type of survival stuff so that they don't got to take the mark? I said, you literally know they setting them up to take the mark. And he was like, yep. I said, if in January they say the only way that you can buy or sell is if you get this card or take this number and that's it, then what you gonna do? And she is an ordained minister. Baby, this one, I'm trying to tell you, I'll be like them. Do y'all remember who brought out the blue boxes? Day one. You remember what he told families they was going to have to live off of? Can you go look up the blue box and see what was in it real quick? Please. Mm-mm. Go look up what was in the blue box. It gave you a detailed, and it should remind you of something from a long time ago. I'll be right back. Sorry, y'all. Y'all found out what was in it? Mm-mm. Mm-mm. Okay, wait a minute. I might have found it. Okay, so this was 2018, right? Listen. Hold on, let me find it. I don't want to have to read the whole article. I guess I'm going to have to. Okay. Did y'all find it? I found it here. Okay, so I'm going to just read a little bit of this article. It says the administration unleashed a flood of outrage earlier this month after unveiling a proposal to overhaul the Supplemental Nutritional Assistance Program, formerly called food stamps. The plan would replace half of the benefits people receive with boxed, non perishables, i.e., not fresh foods chosen by the government and not by the people eating them. It says among those horrified at the thought, American Indians who recognize this, or indigenous people, as the same type of federal food assistance that tribes have historically received, with devastating implications for health. Since 1977, the U.S. Department of Agriculture has bought non-perishable foods to distribute on reservations and nearby rural areas as a part of the food distribution program on Indian reservations. Indigenous, I'm sorry. The native, the program was designed as a alternative to SNAP for low income Native Americans living in remote areas without easy access to grocery stores. The food boxes delivered were filled with canned, shelf-stable foods like peanut butter, meats, and vegetables, powdered eggs, and milk. Milk, grains, and canned fruit, and canned meat. It's like WIC, but it's not WIC. It's actually the commodity boxes. If you look up a commodity box that they used to give out, like in the 80s during the Cold War, that's what it's going to be. If you go and you look up what a commodity box is and what's in it, that is what your family will get. I guarantee you here shortly we will be about to see those because they normally come out in times of raw. It is, it's going to be some canned chicken and meat in there. But when you get it, it's only like 1 can of beef or 1 can of chicken. And it's like a 16-ounce can, right? And then some peanut butter, some powdered eggs, and some powdered milk. How many of you started purchasing those things 2 years ago or recently before they start handing it out? So the government gives you shelf-stable food, but when that crazy lady on TikTok said you don't want it, I remember the boxes. I remember a can with a pig on it, and it was a mess. I was little, yep, and our parents used to try to make whatever they could out of them. I'm going to get up and go have breakfast with my father-in-law on Thanksgiving. I refuse to deal with folks this year. I know that's right. Yep. Block cheese, yep. Velveeta, basically. Uh-huh. Or a form of it. They had 32-ounce cans back then and big blocks of cheese. Okay. Well, I also think it depends because I saw the 16 ounces, 32 ounces. It was a can of something. The canned pork had CG. Had my great grandmother had made some good meals. Right. I get it, but you got to think about it. They also grew their own vegetables. They might have went and bought a cow. They know how to do that stuff. We don't have no, you know what I'm saying? We don't have, they had full gardens and chickens to substitute. So if that was all they got, they had something else. We don't have that. Keisha, I used to walk to get my granny before school. Yeah. Yes. Do you see what I'm saying? And even the skill. A lot of us don't, most Americans don't know. Man. You said, yes, these places now limit so much. Oh, okay. And it's going to get worse. And that's the thing. This is why, like I said, if you're not happy that God was talking to you in this time, whatever it is that He was saying to you about getting your stuff, about whatever, I don't know, because He speaks to everybody differently. Right, my grandma did too. My grandma, she, both of my grandmothers, both of my mama's mama and my daddy mama, they made stuff from scratch. They sold their own clothes. They did all kind of stuff. My daddy, 83, and I'm thankful he is still here and he remembers. I'm trying to tell you. Yeah. Yeah. And it's scary because a lot of people are not prepared. They not. And what I mean by that, they just been living and thinking life was just going to keep on going and keep on being, and they about to stack up all this money and all of that kind of stuff, and that was a smoke screen because it's not that. I can't really remember it. I think it can last up to 25 years, but you know that stuff you can Google, Pumpkin. We have 30 heads of cattle, because he's used to the farm. That part, come on. That part. My grandma had a hog pen and everything. I'm serious. So she could substitute. She didn't have to wait for them because she had pigs. Yeah. Yep. So let's go on and get this going because I got to get to my potatoes so I can. Oh, man. It's called the food box plan. It was called the blue boxes, but look up his food box plan. That's what you need to look up, y'all. Sorry. Y'all ready? Okay. So I need y'all to go to, and we read some of this before, but we're gonna read it again because I was like, oh, okay. Then you said, okay, fan. The Apocalypse of Peter. On sacred text. It might say the Revelation of Peter, and then the second one is the Apocalypse of Peter. Well, that's why we dehydrate and stuff, because you have to think about you can just pour boiling water on it and put a cover over it. Or like the people that have canned, you can just sit that down and screw the lid off and put it in the thing, and it ain't gonna smell it like that. You know what I mean? That's like how they make the buddies in when they go camping, so the bears can't smell their food. That, I mean, because if you think about it, if you put your dehydrated stuff in there and pour boiling water over it and cover it, who gonna smell it? Yeah, but I don't be thinking about that. I ain't trying to say but I gotta. I'll get to that when I get to it. But I need to have what I need to have, and then that's when I'm praying that gotta put some strange beings outside my door. Oh, I get it, but I try not to think about that. Not that it ain't gonna happen, but I don't let that paralyze me from doing what I need to do. I'll come to that when I come to it. You know what I mean? Mm-mm. Because that kind of stuff, then you'd be like, oh, you be too paranoid to do what you're supposed to do. Good afternoon. Hey, y'all. Y'all ready? Here we go. We in the Apocalypse of Peter. Y'all over there? Yeah. Okay. It says, many of them will be false prophets and will teach diverse ways and doctrines of perdition. What is diverse or diverse? What is diverse? What is that? Mm-hmm. Different. Many different ways. Interesting. All right. What about perdition? Variety. Many kinds. Interesting. What is perdition? Here we go with this. Hmm? What is perdition? future state of being wicked, a state of eternal punishment. Interesting. Eternal punishment. Okay. It says, but these will become sons of perdition. So you preaching about an eternal state of punishment, but here it says, but these will become sons of perdition. And then God will come unto my faithful ones who hunger and thirst and are afflicted and purify their souls in this life. And he will judge the sons of lawlessness. Interesting. Y'all remember the conversation we was just having a moment ago? About you learning to please God and not men or people, or just because your pastor think you saved don't necessarily mean you saved. I'll tell y'all something else. The conversation I had last night, it blew my mind because this person told me people do not talk about the mark of the beast and hell no more in church. You really don't hear about it. They don't preach. They don't preach that. They stay away from it. And I've been saying that this whole time, that they don't want to scare the people. But don't you think the people, you said, woo, they don't. Listen, this person is, they a musician. So they sit behind the pastor. If you don't know that the mark is coming, don't you think that that's going to make you, put you in a position to have to take it? Everyone gets mad when it's brought up and saying that God don't want us to perish, so why bring it up? Wow. Wow. Because they ain't never read the part about the people that's like spit. That's why they don't want to read. Okay, amen. Ignorance isn't protection. Come on. What happens if you take the mark of the beast? This was the whole conversation I was having with my cousin last night. Wow. Didn't know. Okay. Okay. So many people are going to say, Lord, Lord, didn't we do stuff in your name? And he going, eternal damnation. So if your pastor or your minister or your organization has not prepared you, they say they prepping you to meet Christ, right? This is what we hear. They're preparing you to meet Christ. They helping you get ready. But God said there were going to be things that happened prior to his coming back. He also said he was going to pour out his spirit, and it was going to be some folks that was going to dream some dreams and see some visions. And there was going to be a reaping of sorts, and people would come back. They would come back to him. They was going to kind of wake up and see what time we was in and try to hurry up and get what they needed to get done. He also said that there was going to be a great falling away, though. Not from church. From belief in there is something bigger than us. There are a lot of people waking up right now. He's shaking some folks awake. And not the people in the streets. Actually, actual people that have been sitting under preaching for 10, 15, 20, 30, 40 years. And they've been asleep. Spiritually sleep. Do you hear me? So they won't talk about hell, but they setting you up to go. They setting you up for perdition, for eternal punishment. Facts. They believe in rapture and gonna wake up and it's gonna turn. Okay, all right, let's go. What is lawlessness? What is lawlessness? What is that? It's the definition of lawlessness. You said, meanwhile, many in church. Now, many who have been in church don't even believe in hell. Interesting. Excuse me. Anarchy, disobedience, chaos, not following commands, no law. So can I ask you a question? If the lawmakers don't uphold the law, are we in lawlessness? Disregard of the law. So if the lawmakers are breaking the law, are we in a time of lawlessness? If the people that are writing the laws and enforcing the laws are breaking the laws, then that means there is no law, which means we are living in a time of lawlessness. You said, no, I go by God's law, not man's law. Okay. I get what you're saying there, but right where we at? Because you do have to follow man's law right now. You can't just drive however you want to and drive without a license. You have to have insurance. So you do follow God's law. I mean, man's law. You can't just beat the hell out your kids and not go to jail. There's a lot of things that are against the law. Can't drive drunk. You can't. You see what I'm saying? So in some instances, you do. Yeah, right. Wear your seatbelt, or you can go to jail. You crash into somebody, and those are laws. You can't just walk up at the store whatever you want. That's a law. You can go to jail for that. Well, people do it, but you see what I'm saying? So in this realm, we do have to submit to man's law. We do. But if the people that make these laws don't follow them, then we are in a time of lawlessness. How many lawmakers and the people that sit in the Senate and wherever else they are we found that they don't even keep the law? Are we seeing that the lawmakers don't even keep the law? So again, in our time in 2024, we are in a time where there is lawlessness. Like the police can kill somebody and we know it's wrong that they did it, but they get off on it, which means they killed an innocent person. Right? So if the law enforcers break the law, then there is no law. If the judges can be bribed to make a person guilty that is not guilty, then there is no law. And there is lawlessness in the land. Do you get what I'm saying? So in our time, there's a lot of judges that don't judge fair. Okay? And because the color of your skin, or because of the background that you might have, or who your people might be, or if you just don't do what they want you to do, they can put you away unjustly, right? It's injustice that they put you away because you're not even guilty. But a guilty man can go free, right? We've seen it. We've seen guilty people get off on something that they should not have gotten off on, and then we find out 30 years later that a person that was innocent paid the time for that. So we live in a lawless society because the judges, the police, the lawyers, they can all be bought, most of them, or have their own agenda, and nobody's going to hold them to the law because they're the lawmakers or law enforcers. They can analyze somebody that is not doing nothing, and they get justified on this planet. Not in God's court, but on this court, they are justified, right? Justified homicide. Justifiable homicide, ain't they what they call it? No. Who justified it? Because God said don't kill it, don't unalive a innocent person. So man justified it, but did God justify that unaliving? Because God said don't shed innocent blood, didn't he? Ain't that what he said? Don't shed innocent blood. So when a person sheds innocent blood, what spirit are they working? Who was the first one to do that? Cain. 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 Yep. Yep. Okay. Here we go. All right. It says, and furthermore, the Lord said, let us go into the mountain and let us pray. And going with him, we, the 12 disciples, begged that he would show us one of our brethren. Wait a minute. So when God got ready to show them what he was going to show them, he took them away from the masses. Huh? When God got ready to show them what he was getting ready to show them, he took them away from the masses and said, come up on this mountain with me, right? Can I ask you a question? Have you learned over here at WOIU a more in-depth view of how God moves and what he likes, and even more in-depth in the scripture and the rest of the story? Did he take you away from the masses to do that? You still hang out with the same people? You still going to the same places? You still chopping it up with all the same people? Or did he bring you away from the mountains to elevate you? I mean, excuse me, the masses. He took you away from the masses and elevated your way of thinking, and elevated your way of reading, and elevated your way of understanding, so that you can look at a paper and not just see what is there, but see what is not there. Right, Lotus. Why didn't he just tell them when they was over there with everybody else? He could have told them whatever he was about to show them. Why he didn't let everybody see it? All of these people was following him, but he chose a direct few to show certain things to. And they had to always be away from the crowd in order to get the information. Could that be like the Broadway? God said it's a lot of people on the Broadway. They got a whole bunch to say about everything. Everybody over there. You will know everybody over there. He said on this side, it ain't a lot of people walking this way. You might not see as many people as you used to see on the road back in the day. You might not be bumping into all of the old people you used to hang out with. But your way of thinking is going to be elevated. The way that you think about yourself is going to be elevated. And I don't mean prideful. I mean, if you didn't think much of yourself, now you do, because you understand that God loves you a lot. You understand your value now that you have added God into the equation. And you don't just throw that before the swine. You don't give your time to everybody. You don't give your substance to everybody. You don't let people take your mental stability. You won't give it to them. It costs too much. So when God started, thank you, Jesus, started to take you away from the masses, then he could change your way of thinking and your value went up. Interesting. And then he showed you things that pastors didn't even know. He showed you things that some scholars have never seen. He allowed you to learn so many things in such a short amount of time to where you didn't even get bored with school. Because every single time that you open up the pages, they pop off. So yeah, the masses heard this, but he went into detail with you. The crazy thing is, the disciples was close to Jesus. They was always with him. They slept where he slept. They ate where he ate. They pooped where he pooped. They bathed where he bathed. Now, there was times that he had to go away from them so that he could get a word from the Father. But for the most part, the people that were closest to him got the in-depth information. We talked about yesterday corporate praise or corporate worship. There was corporate worship. And then there was the people that had a personal relationship with him. And they got information that everybody else didn't get. They got the parables. They got the detailed version. Do you hear me? You hear me? Now that you have gotten closer to God, how many things can you say? Can you even name everything that you learned in the last 3 years, 2 years, year, 6 months since you've been here? There's stuff that you learned 2 years ago. You don't even remember you learned it until you're going to need it. I don't remember where I learned this at, but I know it. I'm telling you what I know. Just go with it. Look it up for yourself. I tell you. I can't remember where I read it. I can't remember where I studied it at, but it's here. And hey. Can I ask y'all one question? Do y'all think if we would have just said, okay, we're going to do the Bible in a year, do you think that you would have as much information as you have now? Or would you still be on the same pattern that pretty much everybody that says I've read through the Bible in a year, would you still be there? Have any of you ever done that? Read the Bible in a year? Like, it'll be the same. Okay. Y'all ever done that? Y'all bought the Bible where it says read in a year, and you did it, or most of it. My daddy's literal voice, you'll understand later. So thankful that part. I started, didn't finish, been there, and I just kept retracing my steps, not learning anything interesting. I tried, Dad won't let me. Yes, the substance here is substance. I was going to, but never followed through. Interesting. Yes, be behind because I never finished it. Interesting. Okay. I just wanted to know. Here we go. It says that he let us go into the mountain, let us pray. And going with him, we the 12 disciples begged that he would show us one of our brethren, the righteous who are gone forth out of the world, in order that we might see of what manner of form they are, and having taken courage, might also encourage the men who hear us. So what did they ask God for when they went up on the mountain? The 12 disciples, Jesus said, come up on the mountain with me. What did they ask him to see? Well, I don't know that. Yes, but what did they ask? What was it? The results, not necessarily the prophets, y'all, but they wanted to see the results of someone making it into the kingdom. How does your soul look after you died and you got to go to the good place? So they weren't dead, okay? But God allowed them to see into the spirit realm people that did make it to the garden. How do you think that changed their life? If I'm standing right here with you and a portal opens up and y'all don't see these books no more, and you get to see into a world that you know is not ours, and see people walking around and eating on fruit you ain't never seen before. But you know I'm standing right here with you. And then the people come out of the portal and stand right here in front of you, and we all on this mountain together. What are you going to do? Do you think when you go back down the mountain that people going to believe that that's what you saw? You saw too, that for real, bro. You said I need to change my clothes. Right? So when they went back up there or went down and they said, you will never believe what Jesus showed us. We got to see what it looks like in heaven. We got to see how beautiful it is. They not going to believe it. They wouldn't believe it. Well, why he didn't show us? We was there with him too. Why are y'all so special? Okay? But you know what they did? They didn't ask for anything earthly. Did you pick that up? They asked to see, what if I continue on this life, what will my reward be? You sitting with God right now. God himself in the flesh is showing you his house and where he lived. He showed God. Do y'all realize they was on the mountain with God? They didn't ask God to give them all the wisdom and knowledge so that they can be smarter than nobody. They said, we want to see how this walk, if it turned out for us, I want to see what it looked like over there. I want to see a glorified body. How do you think that they looked at their own flesh after seeing a glorified body? Do you think that they saw us in the way that God sees us after that? After seeing what how we started out? Because you realize when you go to heaven, you're just going back to the original way that God made us. Right? God gave us perfect bodies. And then Adam and Eve fell, so we got this death body. But if when you get your heavenly body or your glorified body, it's going to be the original bodies that God gave us, like our original form. We get to get back to our original form that God gave us, that glory that we lost. The light that was in us, in Adam and Eve, that the devil dimmed when they did what they did. Well, God dimmed it, took it away, whatever. But the devil caused us to lose it. So my question is to you today. What will you trade in this life for your glorified body in the next? People glorify their bodies on this side, do they not? Bodies that are full of parasites and dirt and sickness and ill will are glorified on this side, but they are full of darkness. What will you trade on this side? Basically, what will you not let go of in this side of eternity that is going to cause you not to get your glorified body? Because we all going to get an eternal body, but some of them ain't going to be glorified. Some of them, there will be absolutely no light in them whatsoever. So what is it worth on this side that you don't want to get to this body we about to read about? You said get. You said get me out this shell. But think about it. The things that we won't let go keeps us from the glorified body. The people we can't just live without because they make us feel away, that could keep us from a glorified body. Not working on your heart, keep you from a glorified body. Not working, so that is the thing that you traded for your glorified body. Money, fame, fortune. What are you trading for your glorified body? Friends, a new car, a new house, a new body, when God already said he got one for you? Holding on to this stuff and it's not worth it. Okay. Folks, folks is trying to jump ahead of what God said he going to do and get a new body. He said, I already got one for you. So again, even if you look at body modification on this earth, it's man trying to do what God has already said he's already done, which is everybody when they leave this body got another one. And it's different from the one you have right now. So could we say that Lucifer kind of finagled his way into the medical community and tried to play God and reconstruct bodies since God said he was going to give us a new one? Because who sets the trends for the body shape? Lucifer is over the entertainment community. Thank you. Come on to you, y'all. When most people start, the stars, exactly. When most people start to augment their body, they have a picture of what they want their body to look like. And 9 times out of 10, it's an influencer, it's a star, it's a person that is well known. People say, I want my nose like Jennifer Aniston. I want my cheekbones like this person. I want my, right? No. They want a new crafted body when God already said he gave us one. So is Lucifer behind body augmenting? He said, you're going to give him a new body over there, but I'm going to give him a new body over here. But the new body that we get over there don't cause no health issues. The new body over there won't kill us. The new body over there ain't going to make us lose our hair. The new body over there is not going to make our bones less dense. No? We be trying to get glory in this body, and God already got one if you're doing right. If you are following what God is asking you to do, your glorified body is already waiting on you. So again, my question to you is, what are you trading for your glorified body? And are you willing to walk away from the masses to get what you need from God, to see what you need to see? Because some of the stuff he about to bring to you, everybody ain't going to be able to know about it. Some of the information he's giving you now, you can't even share it because they won't even receive it. So could this be why God, whenever he got ready to tell the disciples something, he took them away from the group, or he whispered in their ear? How many of you have tried to talk to church folks right now and tell them about what's going on, and they won't even receive it? Even though it's the word. They've been in church their whole life, and they won't receive the Bible from you. And it's like, this is about Adam and Eve. Oh, I ain't reading that. Adam and Eve? Well, tell me what your Bible said about them. Other than they messed up, what do you know about Adam, the first man? What conversations with God did he have? He was alive for a long time. Almost 1,000 years. You don't think he got conversations with God where God was telling him stuff? You hear me? It's important to know deeper into what God wants you to know so that you can see and don't be deceived over here, y'all. There are people that are trading men's praises and women's praises in a service, and they don't even care if God is okay with their life or not. That's a scary place to be, to think that just because you are with the masses that you got all the information. That's it. That's only because nobody else is talking about it. Oh, we don't talk about that over here. Or we don't. Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. What? What do you mean? This is the rest of the story. You have to look at and say, God, why didn't you show all of this to everybody? Why didn't you allow the masses to see what you showed the 12? Do you want to be a part of the masses, or do you want to be a part of the 12? Do you want to be where everybody else is at, or do you want to be able to go up the mountain with God? And yeah, it might be a little scary, but where you want to be? What do you want to know? And what are you asking for? When you ask God, are you asking Him to clean you up? Just think if we were still in the masses, y'all, with the masses. I already know for a fact, if I had listened to the ministers that I knew, I would not be ready for right now. I wouldn't be ready. So I had to step out away from every. You gotta. I come from a on every side is ministers. I don't care if they Baptist, Methodist, Kojic, apostolic, non-denominational. In my family, been in church over 30, 40, 50 years. But had I have followed the way that they told me I should have followed, y'all, I wouldn't see nothing that was going on right now. Because God kept tugging and pulling me away and said, I got more for you. There's more I want you to know, but you can't stay over here and get it. You can't stay right here with just coming to church, praising a little bit, giving a little money, and going back home and just going back to regular life. He said, that's not enough. I never fit in. There's no need to start trying out. Girl, that part. That part. I'm grateful. Remember, I used to tell you, I said at first I used to cry, but I was so grateful He took me away from my family. I love Him. But I'm grateful He took me away because Abraham, right? I wouldn't have never knew the things that I would have, man, I wouldn't have heard it. I wouldn't have been able to hear it because at one time I was a 66er and baby, I was going to call them, and if they said no, that was it. If the pastor that I felt was whatever, if they said no, that was it. I didn't look no further past that. Hello. I didn't look no further past. If they said no, I didn't. So I would not be prepared for nothing that's going on. For real. I wouldn't be prepared. And I'm grateful. And that's what I was telling him this morning. Thank you for always looking out for me, because it'd be crazy out here. You said I got laughed at when I told my brother me too. I really go to any family gatherings, baby. Listen. Ooh wee. All right. I'm trying to tell you. I see a lot of people talking about they ain't doing nothing for Thanksgiving. They not spending their money to go be around people they want to. I said, man, listen. That ain't gonna treat them right and be dealing with attitudes. Folks is like, I'm staying home. Ain't nobody got time for that. Well, I'm gonna spend my money come see you and you gonna be acting crazy. No. You're welcome. Hey, sis. Good afternoon. So let's go. It says, as we prayed, suddenly there appeared two men standing before the Lord towards the east, on whom we were not able to look. For there came forth from their countenance a ray as of the sun, and their raiment was shining, such as eye of man never saw. For no mouth is able to express or heart to conceive the glory with which they were endued, and the beauty of their appearance. And as we looked upon them, we were astounded, for their bodies were whiter than snow, and ruddier than any rose, and the red thereof was mingled with white. And I am utterly able to express. I am utterly unable to express their beauty, for their hair was curly, interesting, and bright, and seemly both on their face and shoulders, as it were a wreath woven of spikenard and divers colored flowers, or like a rainbow in the sky. Such was their seemliness. Seeing therefore their beauty, we became astounded at them, since they appeared suddenly. And I approached the Lord and said, who are these? And he saith to me, these are your brethren the righteous, whose forms you desired to see. And I said to him, where are all the righteous ones? And what is the eon that in which they? What is the eon in which they are and have glory? And have this glory, excuse me, y'all. And the Lord showed me a very great country outside of this world, exceedingly bright with light, and the air there lighted with the rays of the sun. What? So this would be like us going to the Avatar planet, right? If we put it in our terms, it would be like us going to the Avatar planet, where everything is beautiful and big and natural and hasn't been tainted by people, right? Because everything grew there, the worms and it was a magical place, right? A majestic place. If you think about how Avatar looked, the waters, the skies, the mountains, the floating mountains, the animals, everything there was otherworldly, right? Thomas, what are you talking about? What do you mean all the hidden books does not change the message of the cross? I don't remember saying that it did. It is the message of the cross. Y'all realize that God said he got mysteries in his word, right? Y'all realize that. This is the message of the cross. This is they literally on a mount with Jesus right now, the 12 disciples. These are the other conversations that we were not privy to from KJV. We're literally Do you only think that he has one? When he literally said, why do you think that he only has one? Don't you got more than one name? How many of y'all got more than one name? How many people call you different names, but you the same person? They call you by your nickname at work, or do they call you by the name your mama gave you? Your husband call you the same thing that your kids call you? Do your sister call you the same thing that your husband call you? Or your wife? But you answer to all of them. You said I even make up names for people and do, and they answer to them too. Me too. I think people be focused on like we gotta get the substance of it all first. If he went out into all the world, I mean his name gonna be different in different places because they don't even have the same dialect. Even in the Bible, he has different names: Jehovah Jireh, Jehovah Nishan, Jehovah, all of these different names. I just be wondering. Okay, here we go. It says, and the Lord showed me a very great country outside of this world, exceedingly bright with light. And the air there lighted with the rays of the sun, and the earth itself blooming with unfading flowers, and full of spices and plants, fair flowering and incorruptible, and bearing blessed fruit. Interesting. And so great was the perfume that it was borne thence even unto us. So wait a minute. The smell of this paradise was so strong, and it's not even in our realm, but they could smell it. That's like me holding a piece of chicken up here and y'all leaning y'all nose up to the screen and you can smell it. You realize he said he showed me a place outside of this world. But the smell of heaven or the garden was so strong on the men or whatever else it is that they can smell it. Ain't that Willy Wonka? Excuse me. That's like saying you can smell on what's on the moon. Tell me what the moon smell like. Tell me what Pluto smell like. Could you imagine? You said I can only imagine, and I literally, girl, not that we at the same place. Right. You said Pluto smells like facts. Facts are parts. Hilarious. I'm just saying though, could you imagine? Right? You say, God, I want to see somebody that died and they got their resurrected body or their heavenly body. You hilarious. I figured that's what you meant. And then he allows these people to appear in front of you, but then he shows you a world that is outside of our own. But the smell is so strong from the fruits and the vegetables and the trees that you can smell it on earth. You can't even smell what's in California if you in New York. Heck, you can't even smell what's in Jersey if you in New York far enough. But God allowed them to smell what was from a whole nother place, right where they was at. They ain't left the mountain. All right. I don't know if y'all. I said, wait a minute, wait a minute. They didn't go nowhere. They did not go anywhere. Do you hear me? It says, and the dwellers in that place were clad in the raiment of shining angels, and their raiment was like unto their country. Interesting. And angels hovered about them there. So everybody was dressed in their native clothes. From whatever race of people you come from, you had those kind of clothes on. Interesting. I guess everybody is going back to their country. Moving on. Moving on. And the glory of the dwellers there was equal. And with one voice they sang praises alternately to the Lord God, rejoicing in that place. The Lord said to us, this is the place of your high priest and the righteous men. And over against that place I saw another, squalid. What is squalid? What's the definition of squalid? Mm-hmm. It's SQUALID. Squalid. Extremely dirty and unpleasant, especially as a result of poverty or neglect. Like squalid conditions. That squalor, they call it now. I changed it a little bit. So this place, he saw this beautiful place that smelled real good. And it was beautiful flowers and trees, showing or involving a contemptible lack of moral standards. Interesting. Interesting. Nasty. All right. Here we go. Ooh, shoot. And it was the place of punishment. Interesting. So on one side it's beautiful. On this side it's squalid and dirty and a place of punishment. And those who were punished there and the punishing angels had their raiment dark, like the air of the place. What movie did we just watch where the people was living in dark? Was that Thor when he went down? No, that wasn't Thor. Who was that when the little kids he was looking for his sword? What movie was that? I can't think of it. Where they had him in chains down there? What movie is that? I feel like it's a Marvel movie. Y'all remember? And it was people living down in there, and they had to bring him his. Was The Rock in that movie? What movie is that? Y'all remember? Because he didn't have enough. Is it Black Adam? Where he was down in a thing and the kids had to bring him his sword or something? It was broke. What is the name of that movie? Is it Black Adam? Okay. So that was like a place of torment, right? There was a scary angel demon thing in my bobbers there, and their clothing was dark, right? No? He was hidden in the darkness. Okay. And there was kids down there, right? Wasn't there kids down there? And they would have to hide in the caves? Okay. 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 I just wanted to see if y'all seen what I seen. Okay. It says, there were certain there hanging by the tongue. By your tongue. You was hanging by your tongue. And these were the blasphemers of the way of righteousness. And under them lay fire and burning and punishing them. Hold up. Stick your tongue out. Let me see something. Hung by your tongue. Go on and pinch your, stick your tongue out and pinch your, and imagine a hook like in a fish mouth being in your tongue and it don't rip. And then you being roasted on a fire because you blaspheme the word of the Holy Ghost. How much you weigh? How much pain is that going to have on your tongue? And remember, this is an indestructible body, so it ain't going to go away. You just going to feel it. You said, was it in Percy Jackson's movie? We figured it out. It was Black Adam. Putting all your body weight on your tongue, but it don't rip. And all the while there is a fire under you and you roasting like a pig. And this ain't earthly fire. It's spiritual. It's heavenly fire. Or spiritual fire or hell fire. Whatever you want to call it. It's out of this realm. And it says that fire is way hotter than any fire we got on earth. You mean like an explosion? It says, and there was a great lake full of flaming mire, in which were certain men that pervert righteousness, interesting, and tormenting angels afflicting them. Perverting righteousness, interesting. And there were also others, women hanged by their hair over the mire that bubbled up. And these were they who adorned themselves for adultery. You said you like it hot and steamy when you're cheating? Well, don't worry about it. You said you like for him to pull your hair and pull your ponytail. Don't worry about it. That's going to be the thing. It's going to be hot and heavy, and you going to be hanging by your ponytail. Hello? Was the hot and steamy, whatever you got, worth that hot and steam? And getting your hair pulled, it's going to be pulled for the rest of eternity. Matter of fact, it's going to be up in a ponytail and you going to be hanging. Just imagine the weight of however much you weigh. Think about the stress on your neck. You can't turn, you can't pull yourself up, but these edges ain't ripping out. You said, I'll take heaven for 200, Alex. Okay. I'll just stay on this porch looking real nice nowadays. Uh-oh. Okay, I'm gonna keep reading. Let me go down here. It says, and the men who mingle with them in their defilement of adultery were hanging by the feet, and their heads are in the mire. And I said, I did not believe that I should come unto this place. Hold up. So the chicks that cheated and was in adultery is hanging by their hair. Do y'all realize that that's a spiritual 69? The man hanging by his feet and his head is at her feet. She hanging, and neither one of them got no control over their body. Baby, listen, I don't want no parts of it. He hanging by his feet and his head is in the mire, the fiery mire, the she can't see his head and he can't see hers. But they both hanging and they both burning. So he can't even see the woman that caused him to cheat on his wife, and she can't even see the face of the man that caused her to cheat on her husband. And they both burn with lust as to why they stepped out, and so now they burn. Because his feet took him to her. And she flipped her hair and did whatever she did and adorned herself. He said, you don't get to see that hair. Matter of fact, she going to be hanging by it. Oh my God. Think about the people that died in an affair. Like both of them got killed in the bed, or the person caught them and unalived both of them. Think about that. Y'all going straight to torment together because you died in your sin in the act of adultery. And then you don't even get to see them in OMG. Listen here, because baby, listen. Is it worth it, your glorified body? I'm going to ask you again. Are you willing to forfeit your glorified body for this? You ready to forfeit your glorified, that shining body, the beautiful body that smell good and smell nice for this? You said that should be enough to scare them straight. Listen here. I'm trying to tell you. Here we go. He said, I believe that I should not come to this place. That part. I saw the murderers and those who conspired with them. Who are the the people that conspired with the murderers, what are they called here in this land that we live in now? They're in a what? An accomplice. So unalivers and the people that help them commit unaliving, like the police officer that backs up his friend and lies and says no, it was justified, like the judge that said it was justified, like the jury that knew the man was wrong or woman was wrong and they let them walk free. You in God's eyes are considered an accomplice, right or wrong. Even if you didn't know they was going to hit the lick and you drove the car, they could get you for driving, doing a robbery, and some niggas asked you to pick them up from the house. But you can still get charged as an accessory to whatever the crime is. Okay. It says, and those who conspired with them cast into a certain strait place, full of evil snakes, and smitten by those beasts, and thus turning to and fro in that punishment, and worms, as it were clouds of darkness, afflicted them. And the souls of the murdered stood and looked upon the punishment of those murderers, and said, O God, thy judgment is just. So since you snaked your way into you was grimy and snaky and wormy, and just your judgment, if you help somebody get away with murder or help somebody commit murder, is to be in a pool of snakes and worms. Remind you, these are not earthly snakes. So maybe if we think about the snakes from like Percy Jackson and stuff, what if it's them kind? Like the giant boas that we saw. Because God said this is going to be a place of terror. Remember now, these are not earthly snakes. We talking about the giant snakes that was here before the flood. Them kind. Because remember, God made everything bigger. We ain't talking about the little stuff, because see, it's smaller now. We know he got giant worms, he got giant this, he got giant that. No. Not the little garden. No. The stuff that ain't here no more. The worms that ain't here no more, them kind. You want to be the lookout? You want to be the alibi? You want to be the alibi for your nigga, for your homegirl, for your bae? You want to be the alibi? Okay. Go on and be the alibi then. He was here with me. We went to sleep at 10:30. Okay. Snaky. You want your worms extra large or extra large? Could you imagine what that's going to feel like to have snakes wrapping themselves around you, probably trying to choke you until you almost stop, but you won't never stop breathing because and then you got snakes crawling around and squeezing you and you're gagging and maybe you feel your bones crushing. Listen. And then they'll just replenish and you'll feel all of that pain all over again. You said just chop me with that one right there. Listen, I'm not going to be an accomplice to nothing. You said me. There he is, officer. I'm telling you right now. There they go. I think they ran through that field right there. They ran through that field. I seen them. It was 3 of them. Because they talking about snitches get stitches. Nah, snitches get snakes. And worms. Snitches get squeezed and they bones broken and choked. And I'm cool. Right. You can have your snitches. I'll take these stitches over here, baby, but better than that. Because ain't no stitches over there. Ain't no pain cut off over there. Ain't no, okay, that's enough. Pain and agony over there. It said once you get to the point where you feel like you can't go no more, they going to go even harder. We read it. Merciless torture. Question, is there a cycle to the torture for all sins committed, or is it one place? And that's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking it's going to be just like God created, like a wheel. Like you go over here, you go over there. But I don't know for sure. I don't know. But it makes sense as to why. Like if you got stations like you did when you was in school, where you go to the paint station and then you go over here to this station. We call them stations. I don't know what they call them now. But depending on your day. Dad. Okay, well, let's keep going here. Okay. Oh, it says, and the souls of the murdered. Oh, okay, I'm sorry. Here we go. 25. It says, and near that place I saw another straight place, into which the gore and the filth of those who were being punished ran down and became there as it was a lake. What is gore? What is gore? They call them sinners now. Okay. I know. Thank you. Yuck. Blood and guts. Gore is blood and guts and your entrails and poop and all of that. Thickened blood. Okay. All right. It says, and near that place I saw another straight place, into which the gore and the filth of those who were being punished ran down. So you tortured until your blood and guts is just running down a hill? What kind of torture are... You know what that make me think of? Like in Game of Thrones, when they smash them people with the big rock, and you can hear their bones and all the blood and stuff just... Or being pulled apart by horses. Blood that has been shed, especially as a result of violence. And it just splat down. So could you imagine millions or thousands of people's that... You said, well, I was just drinking a smoothie. Sorry, Pumpkin. This is... hey. It says, sorry... And there became a lake, and there sat women having the gore up to their necks. Huh? So some people was being tortured, and they blood and guts and sweat and tears and all of that is running down. And then there's some women in a pool in it. All the way up to their neck. In blood and guts and gore and bodily fluids. Okay. All right. It says, and over against them sat many children who were born to them out of due time, crying. And there came forth from them sparks of fire and smote the woman in the eyes. And these were the accursed who conceived and caused abortions. You are going to have to swim in the very guts you ripped out. If God doesn't forgive. Oh my God. So what I'm gathering is, depending on all that you did, you hitting more than one torture chambers, looking like sinners, like my baby said over there. And you gotta think you got forever to go. So it could be a certain, like, what if you was in a situation for 9 years? Well, 9 of God's years is 9,000 of, 9 of God's days is 9,000 of our years. So if God gives you 9 days to sit in the miry clay, because maybe that's about how much time he gave you to repent of the decision that, girl, let me go to the bathroom. I'll be right back. Y'all gonna take a break. Let me go pee. I need a minute. This changed some stuff right. Go get a snack or something. I don't know. Oh, Lord. Everybody all right over there? Is you okay? Take your temperature. Make everybody won't need nobody passing out or nothing. Tell me this ain't life changing. Tell me if you knew this. If you know that in an affair, your favorite position was gonna be the position you was in for the rest of your life. If every time you told that girl you want me to pull your hair, he won't even let you see it no more. You're gonna be hanging by your feet. If you knew that you was gonna have to be swimming in, let's say, chopped up bodies and blood and bile and all of the things that comes from butchering something, the bodily fluids of that, up to your neck. Let me ask y'all a question. Don't they say that aborted babies don't feel no pain or something like that? They be trying to say they don't feel it. Now think about this. They take that utensil and jab it through the soft spot. But part of the punishment for that is that those same children are going to come back and light is going to come out of their eyes, like, and burn you. Like maybe what the baby felt. A piercing pain. Because they do it in their head. Well, where is that light coming from? Out of their eyes. And you know what's crazy? That baby never got to see the light of day. But God put a light in their eyes on the other side. That spark is going to be the poking. Come on. Right, girl. It's like your punishment really do fit the crime. Every part of it. Girl, listen here. And y'all want to play, well, go on over there then. I need this and stuff. Do y'all think if this was in the Bible, people would have did half of the stuff that they was doing? I know I wouldn't have. All I heard about is torment and torture. It's going to be hellfire. What about this? This is worse than burning. This is worse than just being in the dark and burning. There are specific things that are going to happen to you for the things that you did, and they just making it like it's this blanket, oh, sin. No, tell me. I don't want you to sugarcoat it for me. I need to know how serious this is. Here we go. Man, listen. It says, and other men and women were burning up to the middle area. Where's your middle area? So you was burning in this life. God burned you, got you a little disease or something for a minute so you could quit playing. And that burn wasn't enough. So you going to go on and burn on the other side too. Oh, okay. He ain't playing. This is the stuff that I be telling my grandmother, and she be telling me she don't need to know. I'm trying to tell you. My whole life would have been different. Mine too, baby girl. Listen. So it burned when you pee because God was trying to save your soul. You didn't realize that slap on the hand was stop. When you had a little green discharge, God said stop. But you kept going. You cured it up and went on back to living however you wanted to live. And he said, okay, I live in here. And you want to keep doing whatever you want to do and you expect me to stay in here, you made me live in filth. The house that you asked me to live in was slimy and filthy and dirty and dark and hadn't been swept and cleaned out. Wasn't no light in there. It smelled like all get out. So the same place that you wanted to house my spirit and the filth and the gore and the evil things you thought, oh, okay, you gonna live in it for eternity since I had to wait on you. Listen here, I don't want no parts of it. Where's my water? Help me, Dad. Moving on. Ooh. It says, and other men and women were burning up to the middle and were cast into a dark place and were beaten by evil spirits, and their innards were eaten by relentless worms. So the evil spirits that tricked you down there, now they in hell too. But they kicked your tail up here and they gonna get to kick you down there too. Interesting. So you got to deal with them twice. Got it. All right. It says, and these were they who persecuted the righteous and righteousness and righteous and delivered them up. So the people that delivered up Jesus, the people that delivered up Paul and Abraham to the judges to get them killed, eaten by lions, the folks that's going to tell on the people that don't want to take the mark, and they going to say, I know where they at, to deliver them up to the people that's going to unalive them because they don't want to take the mark. They think is to be beaten by evil spirits, and your insides is going to be eaten by restless worms. Could you imagine being full of worms in your stomach and you can feel them just move? People that have mental illness say they feel worms moving under their skin and it freaks them out, bugs and everything else. So could you imagine looking down at your stomach and it's just worms swirling around and you can see them moving under your skin? Oh my God. Your intestines. And they eating on your intestines. While you being beat. So you being hurt from the outside and eaten from the inside. You got worms crawling all through your intestines and all through your body. You said, where is this written? We reading in the Apocalypse of Peter. I don't want no parts of it. Have you noticed that whatever it is that we called ourselves hiding on this side, those things will be exposed? Or that is the, like, you said, I need several strong drinks right now. Listen here. Yes. Yes, you can. We are on sacredtext.com, the Apocalypse of Peter. We normally use our manners, though, when we ask, can you please tell me? Yeah. Here we go. Ooh. And near those, there were again women and men gnawing their lips off and being punished and receiving a red hot iron in their eyes. So you gotta be in crazy pain to be chewing your lips off. The whole time somebody is taking a poker from the fireplace and poking you with a red. Oh my God. Could you imagine? And mind you, these eyes don't burn up. You just feel the pain of it. Because this body, this hell body, this eternal punishment body was built to take it all and not give out. Not black out, not go into shock, nothing. It was built to withstand the punishment that it's going to receive. With no shock blackout. You said, nuh-uh, no lie, no theft, no nothing is worth any of that. Listen, Heat Wave song, always and forever. Listen. It says, and these were they who blasphemed and slandered the way of the righteous, of the way of righteousness. Interesting. So this is going to happen to the blasphemers and the people that slandered the way of righteousness. And over against these again, other men and women hanging, gnawing their tongues and having flaming fire in their mouths. And these were the false witnesses. What's a false witness? So these people is chewing their tongues off, biting their tongues off. You know how bad it feels when you bite your tongue? Liars. You gave a false witness. Was your husband lying for somebody or on someone? Yes, Your Honor. They were with me. No, girl, I didn't sleep with your husband. I'ma call my homegirl. She'll tell you I was over there. Sis, where was I at? False witness. Bro, tell my wife I was over there with you. Yeah, he was over here with me. False witness, lying to a judge. Listen. So your mouth is going to stay on fire. And the fire is going to be so hot, it's making you bite your tongue. Chew your own tongue. After being with this family and knowing the truth, can't even do white lies. I tell my kids the same. Listen. It says, and these were the false witnesses. It said, and in a certain other place, there were pebbles. What's a pebble? What's a pebble? A rock. Little bitty rocks. Okay. Sharper than swords. So could you imagine a whole bunch of little bitty rocks that's sharper than a sword? I got a sword, but we're going to use this. A whole bunch of them. They're sharper than this. Gotta be careful with this now. Okay. It says, or any spit, or in red hot, and women and men in tattered and filthy raiment rolled about on them in punishment. So it's like rolling around on a bed of needles that's pointed straight up. But they sharper than a sword. And your punishment is to roll around on needle or glass, right? Oh, and raggedy clothes too. And these were the rich who trusted in their riches and had no pity for orphans or widows and despised the commandment of God. So God purposely put the rich, who normally have the most amazing clothing, He made them wear filthy clothes and dirty clothes, and then made them roll around on sharp rocks that's sharper than swords, which means their clothes is going to be dirty and bloody. And think about it. Most rich people that's real like nasty with their attitude and don't with everything, people, they don't want dirty people or homeless people or people lower than them touching them. They act like they hurt them when they touch them because they're dirty. And God said, oh, you're going to be dirty and getting touched. And it's going to hurt when you get in touch. Since you rolled away and you rolled off in your nice car or on your horse and you didn't worry about the dirty people, I got you. Could you imagine? Your clothes are so expensive that you don't want nobody touching it. You don't want nobody touching you sitting in your nice expensive car. If they're dirty, they can't get in your car. If they can't touch you. They can't come sit by you. And God said, oh, okay. And in another great lake full of pitch and blood. So tar and blood and mire bubbling up. there stood men and women up to their knees in blood and mire and tar, and these were the usurers and those who take interest on interest. So you a user, you gon' somebody owe you some money, they gotta pay you extra, and you always taking more than what you supposed to. You gonna be up to your knees in blood and tar. It's gonna be hard to walk and move around and probably smell horrible. A loan shark. But it's some people that ain't, they, if you do something, they give you, I keep taking until I feel like you didn't pay me off. And it's all crazy stuff. I done met some crazy people in my time. Interesting. Woo. And the other men and women were being hurled down from a great cliff and reached the bottom, and again were driven by those who were set over them to climb upon the cliff, and then were hurled down again and had no place from this punishment. So you just got to keep jumping off a cliff and hurting yourself, splatting to the ground, and then they make you go back up and do it again. Over and over and over. You got to throw yourself off a cliff and probably hit some rocks and whatever else, and then go back and forth, right, back and forth, back up, because this body don't give out. But you got to feel what it felt like to hit the ground, break your bones, feel whatever the impact was, and then it's just going to be up and over it again. And thence were hurled down again, and none had rest from this punishment. And these were they who defiled their bodies, acting as women. And the women who were with them were those who lay with one another as a man with a woman. I haven't ever been in a relationship with a woman, but I've been with a woman before. Moving on. And alongside of that cliff, there was a place full of much fire. And there stood men who with their own hands had made for themselves carven images of God. And alongside of these were other men and women having rods and striking each other and never ceasing from such punishment. And others again near them, women and men, burning and turning themselves and roasting. And these were they that leaving the way of God, and then it ends. Like rotisserie chickens. Still don't want to ask God for forgiveness. And these are not my ways. This is not, I didn't write this. But this crazy. Well, we working on that now. Your sins are forget. This is the thing. Repentance, remember we talked about it. Repentance is not going back to a thing. Forgiveness, he's already given you forgiveness of sins. But repentance is not going back to whatever it is that he said he didn't want you to do. And then y'all wonder why I say, I don't know if he gonna let me in. I pray that he do. Because it be a lot of stuff on certain lists that I be reading in a lot of these apocalypses that I've been guilty of at one time or another in my life. And I'll be like, okay, so, and then y'all wonder why when people be like, I know I'm going to heaven. I don't know if he gonna let me in or not. I pray that he does. I got baptized. I got filled with the Holy Ghost. I pray that he, I mean, and now you see why I said you ain't saved until you in heaven. You working on salvation, but you don't know how Judgment Day is going to be. You don't know how the scales is Rika, girl. I got to ask you a question. What are you willing to trade for your glorified body? Because all of those things, y'all realize they did them in this body. You said, now I feel sick to myself. Baby, listen. This body got those punishments. But the body that they're going to get, the body that they wanted to pleasure is going to feel nothing but pain. Everything that felt good that was wrong is going to cause you. Girl, leave me alone. Leave me alone. We are working on our salvation, walking it out. I mean, reading that, what y'all think? And now y'all see why I be like, it ain't nothing out there that I want for real. I mean, I can go get it if I want to, but it costs too much. No. Baby, me too. We all do. And now you see why I be like, look. You said, I'm toast. Listen. Listen. This why we got, now you see why I don't got no time to be worried about what nobody else is doing, baby. Is my stuff off of my rap sheet, Dad? I already have a morning because of the dream. Now, Dad, please tell me for real. Girl, and now you see why I be like, I do not care. People be like, you scared. You right. Of some of the stuff I read. You right. Woo, if Jesus ain't do it, he did it, Lord. I thank you. Listen. You said that's all I need to know. That's realness. The church needs to hear this. Man, I wish I would have known. Me too. You said I need my record still. Listen here. Dad, I need you to scrub it. I need you to, what they call it? When they take it off you, what is it called? What is it? They wipe it clean, but it's another word for it. Expunged. I need you to expunge all of this. Oh my goodness. This makes me want to line up with God's word and get away from whoever ain't trying. Do you see who your TTB with? You didn't know me about almost 1,000 days. How many people you didn't see me with? About 6. And 4 of them was my kids. Y'all done seen me with 2 other people other than my children. I quickly was like, I don't want nothing in the world. That's now you see how I've been able to say, yeah, I want to, but not really. Now you see why I be like, okay, well, I just be over here. Woo, almost 1,000 days, and you definitely failed. Yeah, I'm trying to listen. But do y'all understand why I said it ain't nothing out there I really want? I don't really care because it ain't worth nothing. It don't do me no good to go if that stuff. Especially not after reading this. I used to be like, And that's why I used to tell my ex-husband, I'm not going to let you make me go to hell. You want me to go to hell. I can tell by your actions. I got to go. I got to go, sir. You want me to go on over to your star and be on this stuff. I'm not doing that. I'm cool. Friends, girl, you scary. Cause I know the punishment for what you about to do. And it ain't about being scared of whatever. I know we gonna live more than once. You only live once. You live twice. And that time is longer than this time. So no. Am I perfect? Absolutely not. But am I running out? Remember, I used to tell y'all the reason I didn't have no edges is because I used to run to this stuff until he started. He said, hold on, let me show you something. You acting like you can't live without it. Let me show you what the judgment is for this. Let me show you what the punishment. And now you understand why our dad says count up the cost of what you getting ready to do. Because you going to pay for it. And remember, we read 40 days of fasting and repentance don't get back 1 hour of sin. So what if you was in that relationship or cheating or whatever you was doing for 40 days, don't get back 1 hour of sin? What if you went and took a vacation with somebody you wasn't supposed to and you was with them for 72 hours? What if you was in that relationship with a married person for 5 years? It ain't just when you hook up with them. If you say you in a relationship with them, or from the moment you start to deal with them until it ends, is what you're going to be judged on. You said why fast? Because when you weak, you can't run to a whole bunch of sin. You know that, right? We ain't got enough strength to be running to evil things. People don't care about considering what God is considering, and it's really crazy. The Bible be popping up off the page for sure. Listen. And now that's why I be like, and I'm not saying, because y'all know every day I be like, I don't know if you're going to let me in. I pray you do. Who used to hear me say that when we first started this, and now you understand a little bit more than what you thought? Y'all used to be like, not you, and I used to be like, yeah, me. Because if you get to reading the stuff I'm reading, what? Y'all probably looked at me like I was crazy. Like, what? You know? I don't know what he's going to say. I pray that he decides to let me in. But I can't say that I know he will, because there's all these things that I pray that I've been forgiven for. But I mean, there would be no need for judgment day if we knew we was just getting in. You said we didn't know the rest of the word, baby. But once you start to get it, you be like, I can see why she said that. I understand. Yeah. I see it's a lot harder to get in than I thought. Well, damn. Me, I totally understand now. Those are stop signs. Listen, I didn't know if they was tomatoes. I saw the stop sign, so I was just going to see. And now y'all see why I was like, okay, Dad, whatever you need me to do, I don't care what people say. You said, oh, I hope he let me in. Listen, I don't care when people's like, oh, God got you reading that. He sure does. God, he don't want you over there reading all of that. Really? Well, you know what's funny? I can tell you what the punishment for the sin you just called me to ask me about is. And that's not in your KJV. How is it that all of us got this information and we all said, if I would have had this information, there would have been so many things that I would not have done. And God said, my people are going to perish from the lack of knowledge, or be destroyed from the lack of knowledge. And here we all are saying, if we would have had this information in the beginning, there would have been a lot of things that we wouldn't have done, because we understand now what the weight or the cost of that sin is. So that's his word coming to pass. If you just said, I wish I would have known this a long time ago, then you totally understand my people are going to perish because they don't have enough of the information. They don't really know what I like and how I'm going to move. So they keep taking me like I'm not going to do nothing. You said, yes, and the church is not teaching this. LaShawn, listen. And now you see why they don't be wanting to talk to me. I don't care though, cause reading this stuff, you be like, oh, I'm not doing that. I don't care. I don't care. We'll go exclude. I don't care. I don't want to be included in that. Are you an accomplice if you approved of adulterous relationships? So you knew about a crime that was being committed and you didn't say nothing? Because that was a crime being committed against God. I have friends that quit talking to me. I said, if you're going to keep cheating on your spouse, I can't be your friend. Yeah. I lost my best friend over that. I told her I didn't want to know. I'm trying to tell you. Listen. That's why I just said, yeah, he was over here. He was here, mama's. Girl, he was in there asleep. And you know he wasn't asleep. Remember I told y'all? Is anybody else nervous or concerned besides me? What about what? Yeah, we all nervous. Can't you tell? Raise your hand if you're nervous. Oh, honey. Oh, but this is light. We got some other ones too. You might not. I don't know if you done read. Baby, we all. That's why we all over here like, okay, let me get some water or something. Ain't no water in here. But that's why we read, because we need to know. I'd rather know so I can change my behavior. You said it's sad that the entire word is not taught. Many is going to suffer. I'm trying to tell you. You said I'm laughing, but I'm scared. I'm trying to tell you, girl. I put both my hands in there. You said, look here. Mm-hmm. I literally just stopped talking to a friend for not congratulating her on her engagement. Wow. Wow. You said got the bubbles, sweating. I'm scared. Uh-oh. Had to give me an energy drink. You said what now? And then the pastors tell them not to go looking so they won't listen. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. You said I'm petrified. You gonna keep on running into it. And this is why I said it's popping up off the page. That's why I said I don't care. Listen, if God locked me in this house and I'm the only person I got to talk to, but this is gonna get me, listen, I'm whatever. I'm so grateful. You said I'm so grateful you hooked me and I took the bait. Come on in then. Come on in. He hooked me. I'd rather have this kind of hook in my mouth than the other one. You hear me? You want this hook or that one? be hot to the world so you can be hot in the neck. No, 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 no. No, 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 no. The apocalypse of Peter. The apocalypse of Peter. You said I've been baked for 3 years now. Listen. My whole stomach is upset over here. Listen. Listen. And this is why when I tell y'all, I already kind of knew what I was facing when I came up here. But when I first started this, because I've been dealing with it. Facts on that CERCA hooked me down. Listen, I'm trying to tell you. I gave a friend the infancy of Jesus Christ, and she told me her pastor told her not to read it. Wow. Am I giving what you can read? We're reading it online, Pumpkin. We're reading it online. I don't even know if the apocalypse of Peter is in our Old Testament Supergraphic. Is it? I don't think it's in this one. Mm-mm. I don't think the apocalypse is. Yeah, it's not in the. You can read it online. We reading it online, babe. So let me ask you a question. What do you think about that? And now do y'all see why I couldn't go back to just reading the KJV? It says, I sent the OTPs to my brother, and he says someone told him it's false, hence the name pseudo. Do it feel false to y'all that have been reading it for 1, 2, or 3 years? All that you've read about Adam and Eve, about Enoch, do it feel false to you, or do it make the whole KJV make sense? Ain't it real life? And it's man, listen. You said this is real talk. Yeah. And this is why God said, my people, it's only the church people that don't want to hear it. You can bring this to a Satanist. They'll talk to you about it. Buddhists, other people, they'll talk. The only people that don't want to hear this is Christians. God didn't say the world. He didn't say the unsaved people. He said my people, which are the people that claim to be the children of Christ and followers of Christ and whatever that looks like to you. These are the only people that turn this away. I talked to Satanists about it. I didn't talk to all kind of other people that are not Christians that don't read the KJV, and they're like, oh, wait a minute, I want to know more. But the Christians. Now, remember I asked y'all a question recently, and I said, how is it all these people thinking they're going to heaven, but they don't ever want to spend time in the Word? They don't want to get to know God on a deeper level. You said we have been programmed by King James and everything he removed. So this is the thing, right? And I won't even say that he removed it, because I do feel like God used King James, because prior to that, everybody did not have access to a Bible. King James made it to where everybody, because if before King James, everybody couldn't read the Bible. He made a version that you didn't have to be royalty to read or of high stature, because peasants and people like that, they wasn't allowed. And I'm talking about in England and whatever else. And a lot of them couldn't read. So he made a Bible, but God said, so if you've ever read the infancy of Jesus Christ, y'all remember when Jesus said he was going to quit talking and he started hiding his mysteries away? Y'all remember we read that? You said, sure is not the fluffy God I grew up with. Thank you, God, for CERCA. Look, thank you, God, for gosh. Ooh, Jesus, they don't got nothing to do with me. No, it makes sense because I had legitimately asked about the books of Jasher and Jubilees and Enoch. Okay. God used King James for people to not have an excuse not to study. Come on. And he said, in that very word in front of you, I have mysteries, but will you look for them? Will you look for the mysteries, or are you just going to take what's right there in front of your face and say that's all that there is? When God literally said, I have mysteries in my word. And you all pick up on the mysteries now. You see what's not there. You hear me? You said, hi, there I was looking in mystery school back in the day. Listen, search and we shall find, sure shall. That is what's going to happen. And you're looking now. Now I have to sit the apocalypse of Peter next to Second Baruch. Girl. Don't forget Ezra. What is it? The questions of Ezra or the visions of Ezra? Put that over there too. And now you see why I be like, and you said everything the enemy does is counterfeit for real. Yeah. You said the three throat choppers, girl. You read them. You get with somebody that's talking about hell this and hell that, and let them read all three of them together. Do a Bible study about that with your friend. The moment they say God know my heart, He sure do. And He told me send me over here with these books for you. I gotta read something to you. Hold on. What you think about that? I bet you y'all put that stuff on Facebook and Instagram. Folks don't have something to say. I hope he wrote down that question. What are you trading in your glorified body for? I hope you wrote that down. So when you get ready to go make a decision, and then I don't want to know what it is, but with a show of hands and hands only, do you have something that was on the list that we read today? Have you been guilty? I don't want to know what it is, but just put a hand up if any of those things that we read have been an experience in your life that you are guilty of or were guilty. Sins are forgiven, but now you see why I said I don't have time to judge nobody. These ain't my words. So people can get an attitude with me or feel something. I don't care because I didn't write it. I'm not the one putting you in hell or heaven. You hear me? You'll have to go back and watch the class, Pumpkin. I'm not being judged for what you do. I'm only being judged for the things that on these lists that we read that I'm guilty of. If I don't line up with God right, it ain't none of your business, because you're not the one putting me in heaven. God is. That's why I told y'all, oh, you're judged. I ain't judged not a soul. Do you? Because you going to have to worry about the pogo sticks and the pools and the clinics. And I'm not getting judged for nothing you do. You said I'm guilty of, and I stay away from people to keep centered and right. Come on. I got to watch the playback, but I just know something I got. She said, I just know I got something on there. Listen, CERCA just giving out the tools and jewels to get us closer to God. Look. Hey, how are you? This is my thing. When God started taking me to this, y'all, I got out of, and I'm going to say it again because I didn't know that this is what it was called, but it makes sense. I got out of corporate worship. That is really messing with me because so many people are only involved in corporate worship. That's it. But they do not have a personal relationship with God, and that's scary. They feel like because the people at church say they saved and they dress like they saved and they act like they saved and they always at church and they always at a retreat and all of that. I want to say this too. Did y'all see the thing with Geno Jenkins? I know, because even though you might not agree with what he say, a lot of the stuff he say be accurate. But y'all see one of his pastors or somebody was stealing the money from the people and built them a house. And that man said, I've been a pastor 41 years, I work a job, and I haven't taken anything from this church. It's all over the thing. Just this weekend, his whole theme was them talking about some minister down in Texas stealing money from the people and all of this kind of stuff. And steady asking him, he took $13,000 from one lady. Not Geno Jenkins, one of the ministers. I guess he got several churches or something like that. Then the man told the people, you got to come to church. We going to start having shut-ins, and we going to be in this church for 3 days, and you can't leave. You got to give us your cell phones. You can't force people into salvation. You said, yes, he does have several places all over the world. Okay, well, his Texas honey, he said he bringing in the law and everything. He said the ministers is coming out of the pulpit and all kind of stuff. So this is why I say, you got to know for yourself. Yeah, you got to know for yourself. And that's why I kept telling y'all, this is not about money to me. I really am concerned about souls over here. And it might not look like what people think it's supposed to look like. And I might be a little snappy. Sometimes I am rude, and I'm not excusing that. I apologize. But two, I don't got time to play with people. I'm not pacifying nobody. Because what we dealing with, y'all soul is on the line. I could have been scared of what y'all was going to say or how y'all was going to think about me and only said certain stuff. I say it all. I don't think he's acting, Brianna. The stress. Because you know there was a tape that came out about him. They leaked the tape of him. And he was cussing and everything. The stress of that, of videos, and the government got these videos of him, yeah, that'll make you have a heart attack. And it looked like he had a stroke. I don't think he faking. Because I heard a part of that and I was like, oh no, I know this ain't the Reverend. Let me turn this off. Yeah, a recording of him being intimate with someone just came out. And he was saying, don't effing run from me. And you can hear the smacking. But this is, okay, can I say this to y'all though? And I've said it before. Y'all already know that the devil is coming for the pastor the hardest, right? I'm not saying it's okay what he do. But y'all don't think when I started doing this, the devil started tempting me even more? You don't? Y'all think I just stay in the house because I just like it? No. And I'm not saying if I go out, I'm going to be whatever. But I already know the devil, he waiting. The leaders are always attacked more than anybody. Because when the pastor falls, most of the church people go away. That's why you're supposed to pray for those who can give the word. Right. Folks be too busy trying to pick people apart, but you still getting your word when you come over here. No matter what I got to go through to be able to deliver it to you. No matter what I have to not experience to make sure that I'm halfway in the right spirit to try to be able to tell you something. Y'all know. Because it's two situations here where I'm at that, baby, if I didn't think I'd go to hell for both of them, I'd probably be, listen. Woo. Listen. It's two pogo sticks that I know of in this place. One from a long time ago. And baby, if I didn't think I would have my bus hair, baby, y'all wouldn't see me as much. And I'm being 100% honest. I probably wouldn't even have time to be doing this. That whole denying self, oh, babe. I mean, they right on the, they about, look, and will travel to come and see, you know. You see what happened to me when I went out the other day to the pharmacy. It gets worse. I'm telling you. I was just going to the pharmacy. Devil said, you want some sin? You want to sin right now? We can sin right now if that's what you want to do. I've been missing you. You want a little bit of sin or a lot of sin? Ain't nobody gonna know. You here by yourself. You have to choose. And has the choice been hard? Hell yeah. You said laughing, oh my God, but it'd be just like that? Yeah. You gotta choose, and I choose. You gotta choose daily, girl. Cause baby, I seen the picture of the man, and I got one picture or two pictures, and I don't even go over there. But I seen him last night in a picture, baby, and my heart flooded. I said, oh, Lord, God, Jesus, stay good, CERCA. Don't text, don't call, don't do nothing. Stay away from it. You want me to lie, huh? I'm telling you. Matter of fact, I showed the picture to my sister. I said, you see this right here? This right here, honey. I got the... Because I like that. I like that real good. Everything about it, I like it. But me liking that can get me hung by my hair. Not hung by my hair. That wouldn't want with, because that's adultery. I ain't married, but you fornication. He ain't married and I ain't married, and we shouldn't. Ain't nothing should be going on over there. But I like that. But I don't like it enough to trade in my glorified body for it. It's not worth me going through none of the stuff that I've seen. You said exactly. A tree salesman tried me this morning. I was so glad to see class. Listen here, the wood salesmen be out, baby. And it's wintertime too. They are looking for a place to store their wood at. I'm trying to tell you, no. Go away from here, devil. No. They got it chopped and ready to go. I don't need no, nope, I don't need any. I don't even got me a wood burning fireplace. I don't need no wood over here. Don't. And brothers, you better be careful, because even though the pools is ready, it's frozen, and it could be a trap, and it could be thin ice, and you might get trapped under there and not be able to get out. Be careful. Don't go ice skating nowhere, sir. Don't put your boots on and be, because baby, you being fell through. You see, my place is totally electric. I'm trying to tell you. I'm ready for the rest of the tour. Listen. I'm sick of them branches. Can't stay low. Listen, stay away from me. Going through the same thing. That's why I ask for you to call me, hang me before I get home. Listen. I said, because y'all want me to get up here and say because I talk about the Bible that I don't be going through it. Yes, I do. I was married and I've been single. Honey, and at one time I was good and single. And I'm good and single now, but not that kind of good and single. I'm good and single, all alone good and single. It's so hard, man. But now I know I found myself thinking about the guilt at the wrong times. Mess up the whole show. I'm trying to tell you. My friend's been telling me to knock the cobwebs off. I say, I like my cobwebs. That part, Marianne! For you be wrapped up in them and can't get out. You seen them big old spiders that be, I'm cool. With the website up, right. Look, right. Oh, yeah. I already, all in your dreams and carrying on. I already know how to do. Listen. The easiest way to get a person tricked up is sexual immorality. Because that's the easiest way for spirits to get in, babe. It's a straight shot. It's like plugging something into a socket. Well, you are plugging something into a socket, whichever socket you choose to plug it into. And there's energy that transfers. That's why the hair stand up on your body and all of this old stuff be going on. Brain firing and let get right. Shoot. Leave me alone. Leave me alone. I don't want no parts of it. Just go away, please and thank you. They test me quite a bit. I be having to wake up and pray it down and off. I'm trying to tell you. Okay, Marianne, I've knitted a sweater for the spiders and everything. You know what? She said, yep, I done knitted a sweater for the spiders. I think this one will fit fit you just nice. You making a nice web there. Don't worry about it. Listen here, because ain't nobody got time for that. You said, I need this class so much in many ways today. The spirit is releasing your mind, and multiple partners is that part. And the devil know what you like. He know what tickle your fancy. He been out here a long time. He been watching and waiting. I'm trying to tell you, I go live every day pretty much. We got over 1,200 videos and classes like this on YouTube at CERCA TROVA 22 on YouTube. And we talk about all the ugly. All of it. There is no time. There's no specific time, just whenever I get on here. Sure, edges begin snatch. Listen, this is the thing, but you get to a point where you don't want to disappoint God because he's been so good to you. Not saying that you won't disappoint him, but maybe you don't always go as far as you used to. And every single time you stop yourself from, you see what I'm saying? Like most, back in the day, you might have used to just ran head on into it. Now you actually think about it. Now you would try to turn your phone off. Now you would try to make sure that you don't be in the area where they be. You start to put your own roadblocks up because you don't want to, thank you, Pumpkin, you don't want to disappoint God. And once you get to that point, it gets easier. You be like, yeah, I could, but God been too good to me. He do everything I ask him to do. He come through for me. He comforts me. I don't have to feel that guilt and nasty feel. I don't got to feel all that. So no. Do I yearn to be with someone? Would I love companionship? Absolutely. But am I willing to put my soul in jeopardy for it? No. Could I do it? Ain't nobody here to stop me. Nobody. I'm not married. I ain't got no kids here. I could be going through this bad boy doing whatever I want to. Do anybody dart this door? No. No. And I'm truly appreciated, Auntie, because being young in this world is definitely trying to consume you. Oh, yeah. Listen, the self-discipline you have, I need. Listen, it's easy. Because once you see how it hurts, baby, when God allows you to feel you hurt his feelings, oh, my God. It'll make you cry and 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 cry. Baby, hurting God's feelings, if he ever gives praise and worship in a different meaning too, yeah. You said he would definitely come when the Father's ready. I ain't tripping. I just be tired of eating by myself. Like, I know how to be around, again, platonic relationships. A lot of people get in trouble because they don't know how to have platonic relationships, but I do. I know how to be your friend and not get and be all in the mix with you. So it don't even be, it be dang, Dad, I can't even go out to eat or do nothing. And I probably could. I want to go to the movies. I said I want to go see, what's the movie that just came out? Gladiator or whatever it's called with old boy. I can't think of what it's called, but I want to go see that. And I don't want to go by myself, but I'm going to go. You see what I mean? I don't want to, but I'm going to. I'm going to. You get tired of doing stuff by yourself, but then you also be like, I don't want to deal with the headache of you trying to like touch my hand or touch my leg or nothing. Because my elbow is real sharp. Gladiator, right. You said right. I've been wanting some crab legs, but he got me on an island, dude. And I'm okay with it. You get to a point where you be like, It ain't saying I don't want to, but it just ain't worth it. Be back on the way home from getting all of that and die in a car accident. No. And you didn't even have time to repent. Like, that's what I be thinking about on my way to it. Because I've already made up in my mind that I'm going to do it. And so God has already charged you with doing it. I miss the companionship, but not the strings it comes with. Come on, Marion. That part. And then you didn't even get to, no. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. Or what if you die in the midst of the sin? Or what if God don't let you die and he just stops talking to you and he goes away from you? That's worse than dying. To live out your days and he don't give you no inklings or nothing, and he don't come by and give you, I don't. That's scarier than death, babe. And he just be like, okay, I don't ever want to talk to you again. I'm not gonna comfort you. I'm not gonna stop anyone from hurting you. I'm not gonna stop anyone from hurting the pain, causing you pain. I'm not gonna stop all the stuff that I do. Now you're gonna know how much I did because I won't be doing it. Since they were more important, or that sin, or that whatever it is that you were doing was more important than me, you said, just like Solomon, right? Because first, remember, God took his glory or whatever. Then he took his spirit. Then he just, like, all together was like, yeah. And until he was a laughing stock. I don't want that. You said that constant feeling of loneliness. Right. Imagine when you felt your worst, when you were at your lowest point. I'm not talking about financially. I'm just saying mentally and emotionally. Imagine having to feel that every day for the rest of eternity. His silence is loud and noticeable. It sure is. Baby, you'll be screaming at the top of your lungs, saying, please talk to me. Yeah, and David, right. Yes, I keep myself by saying, Miss Moore, you don't have to argue, not feeling abandoned, answering a bunch of but come on. That part. Yeah. Nonsensical questions. So now y'all understand. Y'all probably thought I was crazy. I was newly divorced and everything. I said, baby, it is not worth it. I'll be in this house. I ain't saying, when I first got divorced, it was a little different. But I came back to my senses very quickly. It wasn't even a good month or so. Certain situations, I was like, yeah, I'm not coming back over here. I don't want this feeling again. Mm-mm. Not when I can wake up and not feel regret and not feel. Then I gotta be arguing with. Mm-mm. Definitely not worth it. So now that we didn't have our 3 hours, I hope y'all okay. I'm about to go. I gotta go blanch my potatoes and get them on a dehydrator. And hopefully you learned something today. I definitely did. And I haven't read this in a long time. I mean, that I can remember going through it like this. Of course, I've read it, but I was like, oh, wait a minute. Yeah. 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 Hopefully you learn something about yourself. Hopefully you learn something to help one of your friends, your mama, your grandma, your cousin, somebody. The lady in the store, honey. You hear me? Oh, I appreciate y'all too. I'm going home to get my meds in. I really want them today. That part, huh? That part. And now y'all see why I be saying, baby, I don't got no time to be worried about. Look, God, I need you to clear my slate. I can't be worried about what's on nobody else's clipboard, honey. Yeah. I need to make sure that I am going back and making sure that I ask for forgiveness for the stuff that I did. Baby, I can't be worried about if you living right or not. I'm going to try to help you get there, but I got to be worried about me. Just sent to my friend, and she said, right on time, lustful thoughts, interesting. You said my med's in the air right now. Don't worry about it. I'm on my way. That's why I'm about to get off here. I love you too. Love y'all too. I'll see y'all later.